Is the virus. Again, it is all viruses are harmful. Virus can never be useful. Like bacteria, we have useful bacteria, harmful bacteria, but virus is a very harmful organism. It is actually, we can say, virus is a link between living and non-living. Okay, it has both characteristics of living things and non-living things. You can keep virus for an ample amount of time, any amount of time. It can stay like that way millions of years. But once this virus comes inside an organism, it shows life. It shows replication. It multiplies and it causes harm to the body. Now, viral diseases that we have is polio, okay, we have measles, we have chicken pox, we have rabies, we have AIDS, and the very recent we have is the corona, the novel COVID, okay, 19. So that is caused due to virus. Again, the next one we have is worms. As I told you before, worms, due to worms, like as I told you, ascariasis, roundworms, ascaris, it goes into our intestine somehow, by maybe in the form of food. We are having some food and that worm, the eggs of the worms is present in that food. Unknowingly we eat it. So that is why it is always recommended that you must wash the food that we take from the market, the whole food like vegetables or fruits, nicely before eating it. And also if it has to be cooked, the food has to be cooked very well and properly, so that what happens, these eggs, they are killed due to the heat. So when we take this food, unknowingly these eggs of the worms enter into our body, and in this way we get infected. So ascariasis, filariasis, these are the two types of diseases that is caused by the worms. Then malfunctioning of the body, as I told you about the heart disease, about the kidney, and a very common one we have is the pancreas. When the insulin is not produced by the pancreas in proper amount, a person suffers from a disease called diabetes, and this is very common. Now diabetes can occur due to many things. Due to food habits it can occur, due to lifestyle, okay, due to tension. So all these result in malfunctioning or not proper production of insulin by the pancreas. As a result, what happens? A person suffers from high blood sugar or diabetes. Then we have allergic reactions. As I said over here, we have allergic reaction, the fourth point, and it is due to like some gas, someone is infected by the gas or is allergic to some gas, or maybe to dust also. The dust allergy is very common nowadays. People have dust allergy whenever there is a storm or anything like that, when they are outside and the dust enters in their body through the nose. What happens? It causes them to sneeze, and again running nose and all that. So dust is a very important, a very bad, not a very good thing, and it causes lot of allergies to many people. Apart from that, you have your insecticides and pesticides. They are poisons. So people react with those poisons. When you inhale those, what happens, like you have some people are allergic to the good night repellent, mosquito repellents, and or incense stick smoke. Okay, so those chemicals, they infect them, they go and they harm them. Okay, they harm the lungs, they may feel irritation in the nose or in the throat, and they are suffering from some unhealthiness. Also pollen grains. So the diseases that we have related to allergic reaction, as I told you, is hay fever, asthma, skin rashes, irritation of the eyes, irritation of the nose and the throat. The last one that we have is the social factor. As I said, WHO said the social well-being. So over here it is coming. The social factors: smoking, alcoholism, drug addiction, unhealthy lifestyle. These are all social factors which makes a person socially unfit. So, and in this way, what happens? The lungs, the liver, the heart, they get infected, they start malfunctioning. So we cannot have a proper healthiness in our body. Now we come to is the types of diseases. So this was how disease occur, why disease occur. We can have this list of things why diseases or how diseases occur. Now we are coming to types of diseases. Diseases can be divided into two types. That is communicable and non-communicable. Communicable means transfer, or we say it as infectious. Infectious. So it is the transfer of the microbes or the disease from one person to another. Communicable, exchange. Okay, so that is your infectious diseases come under this. Like we have cholera, we have diphtheria, we have plague, we have common cold, we have malaria. All these, TB, tuberculosis, all these are infectious disease, means they are communicable disease. It can communicate through water or air. So it is spreading from one person to another person. And the second one is non-communicable, that is your non-transfer. Non-transfer or non-infectious means if a person has it, the next person sitting beside him or her will not have it. Like we have the heart disease, like we have the diabetes. These are the diseases that are non-transfer. It does not transfer from one person to another person. So over here we come to the communicable diseases. So what are communicable diseases? Those diseases that can get transferred from one person to another person, either through direct contact or through air or by water or by food. Okay, so those diseases are called communicable disease. They communicate from one person to another person. So we have three ways how these communicable diseases can transfer. One is direct contact. Direct contact, we have few diseases which are transferring from one person to another person, and in this direct contact or direct transmission we have the direct contact, we have droplet infection, contact with the soil, and entry through the skin. Four things we have in the direct transmission of the communicable diseases. One is direct contact, one is droplet infection, one is your contact with the soil, and the last one we have entry through the skin. So in direct contact, like we have, if you touch the body, okay, a person is suffering and there is a touch is there, so that is your direct contact. Okay, then droplet infection. Suppose a person has drunk water from a glass and you are drinking from the same part, from the same glass, the remaining water. So in this way what happens? Through that droplet infection, it is coming into your body, the disease is getting transferred. Then contact with the soil. If you are walking barefoot, something like tetanus, okay, tetanus and mycosis gets transferred through soil contact because those microbes live in the soil. So when the body touches that part, what happens? The infection is passed on to the healthy person. And contact through the skin, like dog bite. Okay, like you have the dog bite, rabies virus. When the dog bites a person, what happens? The rabies virus from the dog is transferred to the person. So that is through the skin it is taking place. So this is your direct transmission for communicable disease. Then you have indirect transmission through water and food. Like you have this, why we are buying vegetables and fruits and we are washing our hands so much in this situation, in this pandemic situation against this novel COVID virus. Why we are doing it? Because it is due to the transmission of microorganism, maybe through food or maybe through water. So when we are washing our hands, we are removing the virus away from our body. So whenever we touch anything and we are having that food, it is not coming to us. Then that is your indirect. Suppose a person who is infected has touched the food. Let us say this is the food, a person, I am infected, I touch the food. Okay, I see it, I keep it. Unknowingly I do it. Another person comes and touches. So what is happening? The microbe is getting transferred into the body, into the skin of the healthy person. It is not affecting that person at that time. But suppose he takes the food and puts into the mouth, what will happen is the microbe will go into the mouth, inside the body. As a result, the healthy person will get affected. So we are washing our hands and cleaning ourselves and cleaning the vegetables and fruits and the thing, so that we are not letting this transfer take place. Then you have transmission by blood. When there is transfusion taking place of the blood, a sick person has to be given some blood. Now that blood has to be okay. It should not have all these microbes in it. It should not have any poisonous substance in it. So when that blood is given, suppose it is contaminated, suppose it contains microbes, suppose if it is that blood has some infection in it, when it is given to the healthy person gets the infection. Okay, that is why under this category we have hepatitis B, malaria also. Malaria takes place due to the transmission of blood. How? The mosquito is taking the blood from an infected person and giving it to the what you call another person when it is biting, and as a result the transmission takes place.